Hey, what's up guys, Red Bishop here, and we have another video review for you, this time for Roundabout, which is out for Xbox One on February the 20th. It's been out on PC for a little while, but finally consoles are getting the game. And for anybody who is unaware of what Roundabout is and what the mechanics and everything are, you are in for a treat with both the audio and video portion of this review. So first off, Roundabout is a game where you play as a constantly revolving limousine. I know that sounds pretty bizarre, but that is what you play as. The main character's name is Giorgio, who is a silent protagonist throughout the game. You'll figure that out relatively quickly. And majority of the game is you play in, like I said, a revolving limousine, but it's also an FMV game. You'll see people, if you're familiar with the video game industry and people inside of the video game industry, you'll recognize majority of the people in the game. So you have like Eric Pope from Harmonix, you have E from Xbox. So I mean, you have some easily recognizable people in the game. And when it comes to the FMV, obviously, you know, with these being video game personalities or video game employees, they're not actors. So I mean, there are times where the jokes and some of the times when they're acting, it kind of misses. But majority of the time, it's actually pretty funny, and I feel like the writing itself is actually pretty good as well. It's an over-the-top type of game, and I feel like the FMV sequences and the writing and then the gameplay itself all kind of combine to make a cohesive experience. And there's nothing wrong with having more FMV games. You want to keep bringing those out in this day and age. I'm perfectly fine with playing them. But when it comes to the actual gameplay, like I stated, you're a revolving limousine, so that presents some challenges when you're going across the world. And obviously the environment and the levels and everything are made with that in mind. So when you start out, you'll see on the map here throughout, there are gold stars, and those are basically your missions. Those are your story missions and how you progress throughout the game. When you do this, there are different areas you have to go to. So basically, you always know where you're going. There are arrows to describe where you need to go and how you need to get to the next checkpoint. And that's all the story missions. It's going from checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint. There are blue stars that are basically challenges that will require you to do different things. But the main story missions themselves, you go from checkpoint to checkpoint until you finish. And in these missions, there are obviously obstacles in your way, because with you being revolving, you kind of have to be patient. There's strategy involved. You can't just sit there and go guns a-blazing and hold the right trigger and expect to get there immediately. So it's not a racing game, and it's not a game where you can kind of, like I said, blaze through it. You kind of have to be precise. You have to slow down. You have to think, and you have to make sure you can kind of fit the limousine into certain areas. So like I said, it does involve some strategy, and it does involve thinking. So there are times when you'll go through a mission and you'll realize there's one particular area that's kind of bugging and bothering you. You kind of have to sit there for a second and kind of scope out the next few areas and figure out what you need to exactly do. So I like that aspect of it. I like the fact that it's not just a gimmick. It's not just a spinning limousine and that's the game. It actually requires some finesse and stuff throughout the gameplay. And like I said, the missions themselves are just straight up checkpoint to checkpoint. But I feel like they mix it up a little bit with the obstacles that they put in your way. And throughout the game, when you're progressing, you'll get 3 different areas you can go to. And even when you go to those 3 different areas, there are different objectives in those as well. So like I said, there are blue stars throughout the game that are basically little mini games, little challenges. One is balance this soccer ball for as long as you can on the top of your limousine. Another one is, hey, destroy all these crops in this field as quickly as you can. So they do try to mix it up a little bit to where it's not just constantly checkpoint to checkpoint. So there's more to it, and there's a crap ton of missions. It will probably take you anywhere between 4 to 5 hours to beat it on your first run. Now, after you beat it on your first run, you can probably go through it way faster than that, because you know what to do, you know the layouts of stuff, and you've played the game long enough to get control of the control scheme. And the control scheme itself is left stick controls the car, right trigger will speed it up. So if you want to speed up the vehicle, which there are very few times you actually want to do that, and you get a jump, which is obviously the A button, but you don't get that until about probably halfway through the game, so you don't get that right off the bat. And when you get the jump, you can hit the jump button and hit right trigger to do basically a speed jump. And that ends up actually hurting you more than it helps. Yeah, in theory, you would think that's what you want to do to get through some of these missions relatively quickly. But actually, they put up a bunch of barriers and stuff around the map to where they know people are going to try to do that. So that will kind of block you out. But so they think about everything, it seems like. Whatever you try to do, they kind of have a counteract to it. Try to make this review as quick as I can, so I'll get through a few things here. There are also wrenches on the map. There are yellow ones or gold ones that basically will, both the gold one and the purple wrench will repair your vehicle. The gold one allows you to switch upgrades. So when you do various tasks in the game, which is run over a certain amount of cones, run over a certain amount of civilians, they will unlock different upgrades that you can do. Some of the upgrades will slow down time, so it makes it easier to kind of fit through certain sequences when you're spinning the limo. One will allow you to float on water and stuff like that. So you get that through various tasks in the game. The purple wrench also repairs your limo, but it has different stuff in there. So you get horns that you unlock throughout the game that you'll find. They're kind of hidden collectibles. You can switch to those. You have different liveries you can purchase. So basically you can paint your limo different colors. And you have hats you put on the top of your limo. So like I said, the game is definitely tongue-in-cheek. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think that makes the game fun. There are different stacks of cash throughout the game. Cash stashes, as they call them, that are collectibles. There are 127 of those. There are super jumps throughout the game that you can only get once you unlock the ability to jump. So you can't even get those until about halfway through. There are different properties you can purchase. So when you purchase properties, obviously it costs money, but after about a couple of minutes, that property then earns you money. So you constantly can get money from that too. And the money you earn is stuff from the properties. It's stuff from your multiplier going up. You always want to keep your multiplier as high as you can. The highest it goes, the more money you earn. And that's about all the game has to offer. There's a ton of stuff here. There's a ton of stuff to do, a ton of stuff to collect. And I feel like the mission structure, although it is the same kind of throughout with checkpoints, I feel like I never got bored with it. I never felt like I wasn't having fun. I enjoyed the FMV segments in between each mission. I enjoyed the actual missions. I enjoyed the secondary challenges. I enjoyed trying to go get some of those hidden horn collectibles, the cash stashes, stuff like that. I just really enjoyed my whole time with the game. I feel like at $15, it might be a little too much. I feel like at $10 is the sweet spot for it, maybe 12, kind of like the Peggle 2 pricing when it launched. But I feel like if you buy it at 15, I don't feel like you will feel like you're robbed or anything. I just feel like the sweet spot for this type of game is $10. But there's plenty of stuff here, plenty of stuff to enjoy. It's tongue-in-cheek. If you kind of like that off-the-wall humor, you'll definitely enjoy Roundabout. It is available, like I said, February 20th, 2015 on Xbox One. It's been out on PC for a few months. Hopefully you enjoyed this video review. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and have a good one.
Cheers, mate. I was gonna chuck a sickie, but you know, I figure whatever. May as well play around. Yeah, just chuck the ball in one of those goals over there. Cheers, mate. Sweet as. Okay, mate. Get me back to my place up the hill. I've got an esky full of VB with my name on it. Mate, you are a dead set legend. Cheers.